Girls Brunch again. I'm Sylvia.
Yaya.
Kendall.
Alicia Rashad.
Natalie.
And we wanted to talk to you guys today about something we've been talking amongst ourselves about, which has been colorism. It's been a hot topic. It's also been something that's been under the rug in a lot of our communities, and within the Black community specifically, and we kind of thought it was about that time that we go ahead and just, flip the road. So we wanted to talk about a couple of things. Colorism, if you don't know what it is, it's basically a prejudice or discrimination against people who are dark-skinned. It can typically be between those of the same ethnic or racial background. Obviously, it roots from something that's not just Black. It comes from somewhere else. And I was going to talk to us about that.
Colorism. No, I'm joking. I am no scholar, so fact check. If I say any alternative facts, let me know. But basically, the history is that we know, or those of us who know what colorism know, that it comes from the American slave enslavement or colonialism, and it's kind of just basically rooted in white supremacy. They traveled to these places, they enslaved people, they colonized.
You got it.
They colonized different, ethnic backgrounds, and from that, it created these new social hierarchies. Because slave owners, people that were colonizing, they would basically rape women of color, and that's not just Black people, any person of color. And from that, it now created this new spectrum of people, and certain people started to get preferential treatment. So in American slavery, the lighter you were, you got you're still a slave, which it's kind of hard to say, you were a better slave, you got a better slave job, but, they got to work in the house, they got to, wear nicer, not nice clothes. Yeah, their clothes were nicer, they didn't have to work out in the sun, and I was, thinking about it, I was how crazy, could you imagine, this slave, the mother, is this dark woman, she, whether consensual or through rape, birthed this child, and then this child is stripped from them, basically, because the mom doesn't have the same treatment. Their siblings that may be darker don't have the same treatment, and then it created this mess that we now all are dealing with. And it's kind of tough, because I'm where'd all this come from? And I'm God damn.
Right there.
It's just one of those things, as people want to think, slavery happened so long ago, this happened, and these people have moved on, but it's the effects still last today. As we're sitting today, those preferential treatments, those things are still alive and well. So I'm excited to kind of unpack this.
Yes.
Because it's a lot. And that's just skimming it. I really do encourage, not only Black people, but everyone to really go back and look at history, and you'll start to look at, well, why is this way? And you're because of this one moment that kind of changed everything. So, yeah.
I think ultimately, vision state would be that we don't treat people differently because of their complexion, obviously.
Right.
I've been in a weird place because I'm not biracial and I still came out pale. And I know that both my parents are brown. And so there have been experiences that I've had because of this. And it's just always been very weird because when I walk around, I don't consider myself a light-skinned Black chick. I view myself as a Black woman. I don't know. So I think it's what you said, really being intentional about understanding colorism, the history behind it, and also exploring solutions so that we don't discriminate against each other, or we're not prejudiced, or we give privilege to those and not, because of their complexion.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, my experience with it is more on I guess more a societal type of way where I was given favor. I don't know if it was more really about my skin complexion, but I know it was, basically I was told that I wasn't like those Black people. Not really sure what that means. I guess I'm not ghetto, but it's just
That's debatable.
That's highly debatable. For those who know me. No, but that's what I was told by a coworker who was what was she? Latina. So, and I feel like I've been told that before. So that was my experience with it, and it kind of just goes back to the history of it, where it's people were given favor based on their skin complexion or how they carry themselves with regards to that skin complexion, because even history shows us that there were people who were passed for white and they had to live up to this status. Even though they were African American or black, they would still, take on these certain traits. And with like the whole white supremacy thing and perpetuation of it, you're always being told that you have to basically reach European standards. So that's in the way that you dress, the way that you talk, and the way you do your hair, things like that. And it's just, so it's not always just skin complexion. It's so deeply rooted into just like how you just live your life.
Yeah.
Like where you, like I say it to myself sometimes, like I'll be bumping music going to work, just like, hey, it's about to be a good day, and then I'll turn my music, I'm like, don't be too black. And I'm just like, why am I even saying that?
Don't be too black. I like that you brought up kind of how that played out, like people that were lighter and these standards they have to live up to. I think the movie is called like It's a Wonderful Life. I don't know if, have you guys seen Christmas?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's
It's a Christmas.
Yeah, it's a Christmas.
and basically this girl is a light-skinned black woman who can pass for white, and that's how fair she was. And her mother is this black woman, and her mom, I think, is like a nanny or something for this rich white people. And this girl basically begins to understand that privilege that she has that her mother doesn't have. She sees how people treat her mother and how they treat her, to the fact that I believe she starts living her life as like a white woman, and she gets assaulted by a white, like her boyfriend, because he ends up finding out she's black. And there's all these things that she denied. Like she got taught to deny who she was, and I was like, like it just breaks me. You know what I mean? Could you imagine, like,
That reminds me of Imitation of Life.
that's what it is.
Was she assaulted? I don't know if she was
I
assaulted
wonder
by a
if
boyfriend.
Imitation of Life, something like
Imitation of Life was when she was like super disrespectful to her mom.
that.
and
Yeah,
she,
okay,
like,
it's not It's a
rejected
Wonderful
her.
Life, but that is a movie. Imitation of Life.
Yeah, my mom made me watch that.
I was like,
Watch that.
I don't think it's a Christmas movie. Imitation of Life. Dang, why they both had to use life? And then there's a movie called Life. But yes, okay, that's the same movie, and she's hella disrespectful, and she learned to hate her mother and to hate
Oh my god.
dark-skinned people. And then she has this
She
coming.
rejected being black.
Has this coming to moment. Her mother dies, and people are confused because she's like, "Mama," and they're like, "This white girl don't stop yelling at this black lady's coffin," because no one in her life knew, and it just is like,
Oh my god.
And her mom was so loved by like everyone in her community.
and but that's like real today. Like we are taught, like someone taught us to hate our skin color, whether we are light skin or dark skin. You know what I mean? Like someone taught us. Like we didn't wake up and they're like, "Dude, really, this skin is not beautiful." Someone told us that. And I was thinking about like something as simple like as going to the drugstore to get makeup and seeing like they don't have like shades for my color. They don't have shades for someone, like our color. And when they do, it's like CoverGirl Queen Collection, and it's like, why can't you just? But it's like, why can't you just offer all the skin colors? Like, why did it have to be? And it's like those little things though are the perpetuation of like you are different.
Yeah.
Right.
If you do not fit these beauty standards literally, and you know what I mean, then you're different. Oh, and it's the Queen Collection. It's like that white woman's a queen too. Like you know, like, and I was just like, why? I was just like, me mentally, I was like, why couldn't you just say, wait, we just need to offer more tones. Like you walk around in this world, you see people of different races, and you didn't think like my makeup. Maybe that black girl wants to wear makeup too.
Right. Or maybe her tights want
Right.
her skin color.
Nude for her.
That, you know what?
Right.
Dancing and growing up,
Yes.
having to find nude ballerina tights
Baryshnikovs.
was dumb as hell. That was dumb as hell. I was like, but okay, like we just looked ashy.
And then you couldn't wear nylons or stockings that fit your skin color. They had to be the thick nude tights. So everybody wanted black leotards and pale white legs.
I will say this,
Backwards.
I boycotted. And I used to get in trouble. Miss Workatine, we used to always have at it. Because I would wear black tights. I'm like, this is closer than the nude. Like, these black tights.
These are good for me.
I was like, because it my blue leotard and pink
legs.
legs.
That 3-4 outfit was just really
But it's true, and I even think. Well, I used to work in like the lingerie industry. A nude bra, I said,
right.
that ain't nude for us.
Right.
That is not nude for us. And I think there is a company, I don't know the name. They finally got it. They were
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we should make.
I think it's
Maybe,
black
bro.
owned.
That's a good idea.
I think it is black owned, and I think she does a dancer too, because I feel like it's like dance wear too. And I was like, it took us so long to figure out. Like,
Still.
you should have something your color.
It's ridiculous to me. I feel like, I'm always confused, as you know. It's ridiculous to me that people don't think that this exists, right? Because I'm like, if you just walk into any Target, you're gonna go into the beauty aisles and you are gonna see white products all over the place. Now, when you see me walking down there, you don't think to yourself, I wonder which one of these shades she's gonna pick up.
We gotta go to the beauty supply store to get
Right,
it.
I have to have my own store to go to. When I walked into Target last month and saw that we had our own hair care aisle, the whole aisle, not just one section, bruh. That was amazing. I was like, yo, we are finally getting.
I love the names
us.
they be giving them too. I think at Rite Aid it's like they
The
try.
ethnic
They're like
hair aisle.
different textured hair. It's like, just
For
say
stubborn
it. You're
hair.
right, for stubborn hair.
I posted a picture of the whole Target aisle
Yeah.
on Instagram, and somebody commented laughing in the comments, and I was like, you just don't understand.
Yeah.
Like we used to have a
Shelf.
if we were lucky in Target with hair care products for like kinky hair.
And that was like recently.
And it
Yes!
was, and the crazy thing, it was by demographic, because
Right.
I would like shop at, like, I'll go maybe to the Walmart in like a white neighborhood. They don't. They used to. Now they do, but it's like at first they didn't even have anything, and then I go down to the one down like in Murphy Canyon where there's a little bit more mixed because there's like people in the military. And I said, look at my little 2 shelves. I get my perm.
in your
I
jail.
can
In my jail.
get my perm. Oh, and I can get my gel.
Yeah, it's like, but now it's like, I mean, I don't need it now, but I was like, you can get edges. They be having all this stuff. I said, okay. And it's just crazy. They're like demographically, they're like, black people, they don't shop here. Well, no, we don't, because I'm pretty sure they walked in your store and you didn't have anything for them. So they were like, but the thing was like, black women go to like a beauty supply warehouse. Like we can't. It's not like, oh, I can just walk to my local store to do it. It's like we have to literally. I'm like, I have to go to a special place in a different neighborhood. Yeah, in a different neighborhood to
We
get
were the
these
pioneers
things.
of that as well. Creating our own space so that we could have that.
I like how you did that. Yeah, and
So
it's just.
true.
It just boggles my mind. It boggles my mind that nowadays when I see black like couples on TV, I'm excited.
Right.
And I'm just like, that also
No.
shouldn't be a thing.
Right.
But it's exciting. It's really exciting, I guess. And it's weird. But it's that perpetuation that we don't, those subtle things that people are like, I don't see anything wrong. And it's just like, you don't think that's wrong.
Yeah, because they just see their experiences and they don't even take time to walk in somebody else's shoes and see what it feels like to go somewhere and not be represented at all.
Yeah.
In any way. So,
And
yeah,
then
it's a lot. It's hard growing up like that.
And then you wonder why people, like want to not be black. They're like, because you're telling me, the world is telling me, don't be that. Be something different. Be a little bit more like this. Because if not, it's very different. Like, you're just so different. Like, your store is way over there. Like, your opportunities are way over there, and it just breaks my heart. It breaks it. I think I almost
that
cried like when we were
Eurocentric
like planning to do this, because I was like, this shit sucks.
It does.
Like, it really freaking. I'm gonna try to not cuss y'all. It sucks.
It is. You're right.
Yeah.
It's that Eurocentric standard of beauty. Like how you were saying, even if you are black, if you're fair or not, you have to appeal to that standard, like whatever is closest to being white, the way you look, the way you talk, the way you act and dress, the music that you listen to. And it's like, but I like being black. I love black culture. I never wanted to be anything but. And so because somebody else said that I need to be white, that's what I have to be to like make it or to be light. It's backwards.
Yeah, and I think it's crazy too that it's not just in black culture. Like, I've spoken to like my Latina friends, and it's the same thing. This standard of beauty is perpetuated. The lighter that you are, the better. The Filipino community, same thing. And it's just like basically any place where there was European takeover, like it created that, and it's just like to the point where people are doing drastic things.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned like skin bleaching and things.
There is so in like you were saying, like in every demographic, every background, the darker people suffer the most, and people are going to just like extreme lengths to fit a beauty standard. So far as like bleaching their skin, I know that's like a big thing in Africa right now. And like there's this African artist, I don't know her name, but she's basically like sponsoring it, like her face, like everything. She's like the face of bleaching cream. And there's a Jamaican artist who recently came out bleaching his skin. Sammy Sosa.
Oh yeah,
He took it
Sammy and Lil Kim. I don't know who Lil Kim thinks she's fooling.
Lil Kim has got some real psychological issues, and that's a perfect example of how this issue has really taken a toll on specifically black women, where she went to these lengths to look Caucasian, to look as white as possible. It also had to do with the person that she was dating, who was constantly telling her that she wasn't beautiful. But she looked blonde hair, blue eyes, bleached skin.
Yeah, she does look.
And that's the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing is like you look at her when she was black.
She was so black.
When she was beautiful. She was gorgeous. Had a beautiful body. She had this beautiful presence, and through her manipulation, she lessened it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like she lessened that beauty, and I'm like, now you look crazy. But in her eyes, the scary part is that in her mind, when she looks in the mirror, all of that goes away. She feels that she's more beautiful because she's lighter. And it's scary because I'm like, you look crazy.
Yeah, and it's weird because like people who are not black, who are like white people, have tried to be darker. Like they can. And even like myself, I hated being light when I was pretty much for a very long time. So it's like a mind fuck because
Definitely.
brown and dark complexioned individuals want to be lighter, but then the pale people want to be dark. So it's like, what is it?
Where did that come from? They were just like, dang, we need that melanin.
It's so weird. My mom used to she used to kind of like fawn over me, and maybe just because my mom, maybe it's just because I'm like fantastic, but it also, she would just like kind of like pet me a little bit, and she would just be like, your skin, like I love your skin tone, I love your skin, and then she would go and get tanned, and she just had like this little obsession with being darker. And I just feel like a lot of people, white people, have this obsession of they want to tan and try to get as dark as possible. And it's like, it's a little weird, like when someone's like fetishizing like you or like your skin tone. That's off. She's like, don't stop. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I found a lot of people, they just really love being darker. And I mean, even for me, I don't like wintertime really, because I'm paler, but people also say like, hey, are you sick, are you doing okay, drinking enough water? I'm like, yeah, it's just winter, it's just December. I love summertime me. Summertime me is popping.
You be glowing.
I really do. I really do.
But that's another thing, like, why do white people really not believe that black people can get lighter or get darker?
Right.
I
feel like, why do you tan when you're already
I
black?
was so disappointed in
It's
the
that
sun
misconception.
when I got a tan. I was like, sunburn? What is that?
Black people sunburn. It's crazy.
I don't do that. I don't know what you're talking about. I always joke around, I can't get any darker. Trust me. It's not going to happen unless I'm on the equator. It's not going to happen. So,
It's a real thing.
It is a real thing, actually.
We need to be wearing sunscreen too. I be pulling
yeah.
that black. I be pulling that like I'm black, melanin.
It's
on
good.
fleek.
Like,
We're
all
good. And then I'm
natural.
like, skin cancer's a real thing. I will never forget. Like we used to go to camp, and I'm like, oh, she don't need sunscreen. It's built in. It's really not. I mean, it is, but it's not.
It's really not.
Like you gotta use sunscreen. I still don't. I'm gonna use it this summer.
I was just actually watching this show, This Is Us, and it's a show about this white couple who adopted this little black kid, and they were at the pool, and there were other black people at the pool, and a black mom like came over to her and handed her a bottle of sunscreen and was like, your kid needs lotion because he looks ashy, because he's in the pool, And he needs sunscreen because he's a human being. And like the white lady was like a little offended, and she's like, "Of course I know this," and like was offended. The black lady walked away, and then she like turned and looked at her husband, and she's like, "Does he really need this?" But I feel like that's a real life thing. Like I watched that, and I was like, "Yes, that's what really happens in real life." People don't know; they just don't know.
Yeah, it's true. Black people need sunscreen.
Please wear sunscreen.
I'm gonna try. Sunburn's a bitch.
Sunburn is real.
Yeah, it's not good at all.
With regards to what you guys are talking about, because I've been over here in the corner. I just turned the other way, cut me all off. Move the pillow behind you.
Oh no, I really like this.
God was like,
Right there, let me just so furry and soft.
I'm taking it with me.
No, you
Black people.
oh my gosh. I was like, I want to be a creeper and just be like, turn around.
Turn around.
Okay. But it was
Every day.
I don't know what the words are after this.
Me neither. Just go turn around.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll touch you too.
I don't even know what song I'm singing.
no. Okay, guys, it's okay.
No.
Go ahead.
I don't have brown eyes. They're kind of dark. Anyways, with regards to what you were saying, Kendall, how you always wanted to be darker, a little bit darker, I always wanted to be lighter. Like, it took me a really, really, really long time until this year to be okay with starting to be okay with my skin color. Like, sorry guys, I'm a little sick. But for me, I feel like I always wanted to be lighter. Me and my brother used to compare like colors and use, like I was saying before in one of the other episodes too, we used to compare our skin colors and see who could be lighter. I have an aunt that's your color, born and bred of dark chocolate people, but she has the color of my great grandmother, and they're both very, very light skinned. I think she might even be lighter than you.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of people in our family that just switched it up a little bit, you know? But with regards to wanting to be lighter skin and darker skin, like I feel like a lot of, if you're dark skin out there, I understand how you feel. I've been told that I'm an Oreo, like I'm a white woman in a black person's body. And that I didn't quite understand. And then I've been told, oh, you're one of the educated ones. And I'm like, I can't get, okay, first of all, so let's start with a white person in a black woman's body. I've been told that I have African-ish features. They didn't tell me which place in Africa. But I've been told that, but then I've been told I have more European features too. So being told that I'm like a white person in a black person's body, I feel like in personality, like you were talking about, in identity and my personality, I grew up in Skyline, which is the hood of San Diego, one of the hoods of San Diego. So me having my personality and not being black, quote unquote, is one of the things I struggled with. I remember my brother's girlfriend when I was in high school kept on telling me that I'm not smart and I was never going to be anything because I wasn't street smart, because I was book smart. And then I was also told separately from that, which confirmed in my head that I was different, is that, oh, you're one of the educated ones. So we're by default not educated. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Then you're also telling me, with regards to what you were saying, like you don't have a place in this society. Like imagine being told, white people, because you guys live everywhere in life. So you guys took over everywhere. But you guys, like, imagine being told, like, your whole entire life that you don't belong.
Right.
So with makeup, you don't belong. When it comes to, we're going to talk about this later, dating, you don't belong. Having dark skin anywhere, you really just don't belong. Mm-hmm. You don't have any place in this world. You don't have any place in the workplace. And you don't have any place in your community. You don't have any place with the men around you. You don't have any place in marriages. You don't have any place in the job. You don't have any place in society. Like, you just don't belong here. And if you don't try to get yourself to a place where you can kind of belong, then we're going to still treat you like you don't belong until you get the point.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes,
and
so true.
that's not how we should be able to live our lives and how we should have to live our lives. And that's how I've been forced to live my life. So my whole entire life, I didn't want to be dark skinned. I know there's still people that are older, people probably 67 years old still hate that they're dark skinned, still hate that they're black. And I'm not going to lie, I will be completely transparent and say that I was one of those people. I didn't want to be black. I was tired of being black. I was like, look, why couldn't God just, a little more vanilla in there, a little salt. I would have been bitter, but it would have been fine. I wanted to be something other than what I was for so long, and it hurt so much to see that no matter where I was in my life, I couldn't fit any standard. And speaking of standards, with the job that I have, I don't have to look cute at all. Not a requirement. Nobody sees my face. But I feel like being beautiful and knowing that beauty is based on Eurocentrism, the European look, having blonde hair, blue eyes, fair, like skinny, skinny body, all of these things. Knowing that that's what the standard of beauty is and being the complete opposite, like, how do you expect me to go into our friend, I think we talked about it, Sherry, hey, how you doing, girl?
Hey, girl.
She was talking about how she's like, I don't know if I should wear my natural hair, if I should straighten my hair for my job interview because I have to. She didn't say this, but I feel like the idea is that you kind of have to make sure that you're not being too black for the people to accept you in the beginning. And then later on, we're like, oh yeah, I'm going to break out my fro when they're ready. You know, like, we shouldn't have to come to that point. Like, it's kind of an underlying standard that you be beautiful, especially in specific jobs. Like, you can't be in advertising, be in front of the camera, be a public speaker for somebody, be in the community at all, be a model, which we're changing now. I love that. I was looking at something on Facebook the other day, and it was like, Down syndrome people or people who were missing limbs and all this stuff. I was like, we're evolving. Yes. But all these things, like, what's the standard? Like, and even a lot of the models that I'm seeing that are coming straight from Africa, they could have the blackest skin in the world, but they have European features still. So in a way, they find that to be acceptable if they have those features. But if they don't, or you're exotic.
It's like this is a novel. Look at this novel. Yes. It's not like your whole runway. It's like special. Like this year we have an African girl.
Yes,
like,
and that makes me
It is. It's like a novelty. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the norm. It's a novelty. Like,
they
spice
get
it up.
credit, and they get credit for like
taking them,
featuring it, and it's like, no, bro, like you should have been doing it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get a pat on the back because you caught up. He was way ahead of you. Like, come on.
It's true.
It's true, but I think I've grown up thinking that I needed to be everything other than what I was. And I am just now becoming okay with being dark-skinned and having to realize that nobody else may be there with me. Like, they're going to be, obviously, I have your guys' support. And obviously, dark-skinned people have people support in the community as well. But just being in a place for so long, not having a place to say, or somebody to say, no, you are socially acceptable, which we shouldn't need, but who doesn't want to have that? Saying that you are beautiful, that you don't have to look blonde, because there's no way I'm getting black and blonde at the same time. Like, I can't be blue-eyed. That's not going to happen. You know, like, so imagine, seriously, so imagine how hopeless people who don't love themselves feel, how they go through their lives not knowing how to love themselves or love even other people who are black, and then going through life also resenting those who are lighter skinned sometimes, because there are some of us who are light skinned. I'm not there anymore, but I was there before. Transparency again. I was there at some point in time where I didn't really care for light skinned people. Anybody who was lighter, I didn't really want to be around you because you made me feel like crap. Not on purpose. It's just that I recognized how people saw you and how they saw me as less worthy. So anytime I was around you, I was just made to feel like crap. So fix the solution. Hey, just don't be around that person because you're going to see how they get this treatment that you don't get.
Yeah.
You're going to see how people fawn over them and could care less about you. You fade into the darkness because you're dark. You know? It's really hard though. I know. But it's true. Like, you realize that if it's light skin, it's not your fault. We are born into the color that we have. We are born into the skin. But there are women, like I was reading a thesis I was doing research about this, and a woman was saying how when she was younger in high school, she didn't want to be this new girl who was lighter skinned's friend because she knew that she was a threat to her and the community that she had surrounded herself with, because she knew that the boys would like this new girl, and she's light skinned, she has this curly hair, she's X, Y, or Z. And the reality is that sometimes that's a thing. Like, and it's not your fault that you're light skinned. It's not your fault that the society taught us that this is what we have to do to protect ourselves emotionally. Mm-hmm. This is just our way of coping sometimes. Once again, graduated, woohoo. Yeah. But it's still a thing. Kids are still kids, and kids are mean.
Yeah.
So they really are. They can be really brutally I'm not saying honest, because their honesty doesn't make it truth.
Right.
But they can tell you what they mean and mean exactly what they just said, you know? And then you're left to teach your child and rebuild up the confidence that they never had or are being depleted of in the community that they're in. So, light-skinned people, when you're seeing, because I was looking out, I think there was something on Facebook where some girl was like pissed off. She was like, look, stop calling me light-skinned and all this stuff. I was like, I promise you it's probably not even you. It's probably just the way that we've been treated has taught us to defend ourselves in another way, and you happen to be in the crossfire. Mm-hmm. Because we know that you get that treatment that we wish we could have. That resentment, that it's really rooted in, and that jealousy, it's really rooted in hurt, and not towards you, but how we're taught that we're not worthy or worth anything on this planet, especially in this community that we live in the United States. Not a thing. Yeah. So, but yeah, you guys are talking, I was just over here like...
Sylvia's like, oh yeah, I know, I'm going to be open. I'm going to sit open so that you're a part of this.
But I wanted to talk about that too, because I know, Natalie, you're saying your experience has been different, obviously, and we do see that there is a little bit of privilege in the community of fairness.
Can I just say that we sat in a very awkward sitting?
I know. We went from dark.
The spectrum.
Mm-hmm. You see? Dark to light to medium.
Technically, we could probably switch this, but yeah, we sat in a spectrum.
I'm not gonna lie, I was like, we should have been real radical and like all came in like skin. I was like, we could have really did some shit, girls.
Yeah, we would have been at the store for hours trying to find stuff.
Was that shade?
No,
you get that was like that shade.
That's what you did.
Double entendre. I be learning words, y'all. I learned that word yesterday. Learn it.
Oh, I'm glad you're smiling.
You're not one of the others.
You're not like
you're
those
black person.
That doesn't mean you can quote that.
Don't repeat it.
But Natalie, I know that when we were talking about this before, we were talking about how you had a different perception of colorism, and that it did or didn't exist at some point in time, and then you had a revelation that, hey, maybe it does.
Well, I was just oblivious to it. Like, I just grew up not even thinking about, like, in my mind, it was like, you're black or you're white. Like, there was no spectrum, really, in my mind. And I think it kind of came from, because I'm mixed, but I could never be a white woman. Like, I can never have that experience, which is why I don't tend to resonate a whole lot with, like, white culture, because I've always been treated as a black person. But because of that, in my mind, I was like, oh, I'm with everybody else. Like, there's 2 boxes, and I get to be in this box. And I was just happy to be in my box with all my black friends, and I was just chilling, just living my life. And then I think we were, like, in college. Well, Sylvia and I's relationship has always had this little undertone to it, because we're best friends, but it's had this undertone of, like, she has told me, like, you are prettier than me, or you're this than me, and I'm like, no, because I look at Sylvia and I think she's a goddess, and I want to look like her. So that like confused me. But I remember, I think we were in college, or it was like our senior year in high school or something, and Sylvia and Ayana like basically sat me down and had a very frank conversation with me, and was just like, listen, this is a thing. You need to recognize that this is a thing. Colorism exists. Like, you do have a light skin privilege, and that's something that you need to take ownership of and recognize. And that, even in that conversation, I was like, no, not a thing. I just didn't think it was a thing. Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, great. And I think it took me a while of like living life with that truth. Like, it was hard to hear, but once you live life and someone has brought something new to your brain, you start to recognize, like, oh yes, oh okay, yeah, this is a situation where they're going to serve me first before they serve Sylvia, or someone's going to approach me first before they approach Sylvia. Like, I think I notice it more when we're shopping or we're walking around in stores. People tend to talk to me more. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know. And usually I'm not even the one buying stuff. And so Sylvia, like, I remember once even Sylvia was like, I'm the one shopping. Like, she had to make a distinction.
Oh my gosh.
And because they were just kept trying to talk to me, and I was like, I'm not going to buy anything here. So it was, I think there's little things like that where you start to recognize, oh, this is an issue, this is a thing. And now it's easy. I think it's easier for me to understand when it's happening, and if it does happen, I can speak up and like tell other people that maybe are in the place where I was, hey, actually this is a thing that really happens, and you need to pay attention to it, and if it happens to your friends or your family or people that you love or care about, you need to stick up and speak up for them. That is something I think people of a lighter complexion, that is a solution. Like, use your voice, because silence is killing us.
Yeah.
We need to talk about these things. We need to be transparent about them. That's why I keep my best friends around, because they tell me the truth about myself all the time. And
This is news to me.
oh, really? Cam? Really? Seriously? You get on me quite a bit. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's important to do, and I appreciate them for even bringing me into the conversation, because I thought I was just like everybody else, but I'm not.
She's like, oh.
But I think one thing that I do love about Natalie is that she is also a delicate balance of both. And you didn't know I was about to talk about this, but I am. So,
None of us did.
no, it's nothing epic. But even though Natalie is mixed, and even though she does relate to Black women more, while we introduced her to that topic, she too has experienced it in a more coloristic way. I remember you talking to me the other day about how, I think we were on the phone, that was a while ago, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, you were talking about how you went to a coffee shop and how they were like serving everybody else, and all you wanted was your basic little drink, and they got everybody getting skinny cow fat top lattes with who knows what's on it kind of thing, and you just wanted a coffee.
You know what really
a
pissed
brew.
me off?
Just a brew.
That really pissed me off because the girl behind me, I had already ordered my drink, and then the girl behind me ordered her drink, and actually she ordered like 2 or 3 things, and got all of her stuff before me. Then no one was at the counter, and then it was just me, and I'm just sitting there looking at these ladies like, so I just want my dirty chai, that's it. And she finally like stuck her head out and was like, can I help you? And I was like,
Oh my god.
just purchased something from you. Like, you took money out of my hand. And so I was like, yeah, I'm waiting on my drink or whatever. And she's like, oh my god, totally forgot, whatever. And then the music, and she was like playing like Enya or something. And then after she realized, Erykah Badu came on. And I was like, I must have snatched that dirty chai out of her hand so quick. I was like, let me just go ahead and leave, because I cannot right now. But it's still not, that is still probably a more rare thing to happen to me than, I did not grow up hating the skin that I was in. So in my mind, those things don't compare, because I have very limited or specific things that have happened to me. But I didn't grow up going, oh my god, I wish that I was lighter. Or I was never told, I was actually told the opposite, that I was more beautiful because I'm exotic looking, whatever that means. And so I don't really think that they hold the same weight at the end of the day. Yeah. But yeah.
It's true. You see it a lot in dating, obviously. Like,
yeah, take several deep breaths.
So many deep breaths.
no, because really my heart is racing right now because it's very frustrating. And I would never be the person to sit here and like cry for pity. But it's, like I said, I was not raised by a white parent. Both of my parents are brown. And so when meeting men specifically who praise pale skin, it's like, well, what are you indirectly saying about my sister and my mom and all my friends who I love? And the fact that they would be considered not as beautiful simply because of my skin color. Like, So it was very difficult for me to love my skin because it was something that caused pain for other people.
Yeah.
And that's the way that I still battle with that today. But yeah, it's like very frustrating. That's why don't approach me talking about my skin color. Oh, you're so pretty. Oh, you're this or that. Even like this guy that I met last year would say, oh, look at you, so light skinned. And I'm like, really? Like, you think that's okay? So, and speaking up about it too, like not just, letting that go, but obviously it's just very weird. I call it this like fetishization of like light skin because it's just like the way black men are about white women. They want what's closest to white.
Yeah.
I am not white. I don't want to be white. And I want my friends to have the same opportunity. I would call it an opportunity. Because it's probably not even an opportunity.
It's like slave, a little bit better slave. It's like, it feels weird. You're just like,
Yeah. So, I mean.
Whoop me less.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't mind getting whooped less though.
Oh my god.
Or just not being whooped at all. I'm just saying.
So yeah, I mean it is a very real yes. It is a very real thing. It's very disturbing and I don't know. So there has to be a place where we do love ourselves for the skin that we're in and like be proud of it and be vocal about it and like, yeah, I'm brown, yeah, I'm darker, but I love the skin that I'm in because everybody should. And I know my experience is very different, but I don't know. I feel even weird just talking about this topic because
No, I'm glad that you talked about it because it's that weirdness. It's like with Natalie, she's biracial, so that you know what I mean. But it's like no, my mom is black, my dad is black, and I'm still have to live in this realm, right, where people where black people are upset with you because you're like, oh, you're light, you have this, and you're like.
But I get it.
Yeah,
I get it though. But I get it.
Yeah.
Like how Sylvia was talking about not wanting to be around people who are fair because of the pain that it causes and the experience. I get that. I can't even be mad about that. Like,
no.
yes, you have every right to be upset about that.
I just think it's like a
right.
weirdness because it's like that usually comes from because the person's biracial. But I'm like,
I mean,
because I feel like there's a defense. There's like a weird defense that you have to have. You're like, I'm black like you, like literally, like you know, like literally, I am black like you. Like literally, there is nothing else in here but. Black and black.
Like there's this thing called recessive genes.
Yeah.
And I just happen to get it. But it's never been a situation where I'm proud because I'm fair or where I tout this, oh, I'm mixed or I got that. Never, I can say with a clear conscience, ever have said that, felt that way, ever. Because I don't believe that. So, yeah, it's just like frustrating. But it's also interesting because then I get to like experience both sides and like find, okay, this is a problem that we need to fix. Oh, this is the root of this problem. This is my place in this, like what I can do with whatever I have to make a difference.
Yeah.
And like speak up and all that.
You know what I've noticed? Sorry, were you?
Oh yeah, saw you.
What I've noticed is it's not even just in skin tone. It could be so far as just someone's hair. I had a roommate who is darker skinned, but she has really loose curls, and so if her hair was like back, she would experience, that typical, shade towards, her being a darker skin complexion.
Yeah.
She had those anxieties about it, and like with dating or just going out and just, interacting with the public. But when she had her curls out, she knew that, okay, I'm going to get treated differently because I don't necessarily look black now.
Yeah.
Because my hair is looser, like my curls are loose, so like, okay, she might be mixed with something. She's not. Both her parents are black, but her and her sister, they just have really loose curls. God bless her. And so like that was something, and I've even noticed that like just out and about with people, you'll see like between black people and on the outside that there's even a different treatment just because there's that European feature that's present. So it's that whole, oh, you're not that kind of black person.
Yeah, like there's something, you really do have Native American in you.
Oh, okay.
You really are Cherokee. You know what I mean? Because no, but they take attributes and they say, if you're full black, there's no way your hair could grow that long. There's no
or
when
you
I
can't
was
be that beautiful.
like when
That's
I was
beautiful.
younger and actually had hair. Like my hair texture was more like Natalie's. Like it was very loose. It was popping. and I got a perm. But it was like wavy like that, and I was just like,
It is.
but that attribute couldn't just be because I was black. It was like, oh, you definitely have something else in you.
Right.
Like, there's no way that you're just black, like, and your hair grows, and it's like that has more to do with product than it is their ability to grow hair.
Right.
Like,
Or to
that
do
just
with
has-
how much water you're drinking.
Yeah, really.
There's other
What I
factors
do.
to that, but you know what I mean. They attribute that like, oh, you're a black girl with long hair, like there's something else in you, black nigga, like. I don't understand, but you know what I mean. They take that attribute away, like there's no way it has to be something else, and it's like
No, it actually can just be black and black.
black
Black and
magic,
black,
like
black.
blackity black black black, all of it.
Blackity black.
There, it's like you make me think like you think you like go to Africa and everybody has hair that long, like no. People have long hair, people have wavy hair, people have, you know what I mean. I was like,
Have you ever seen a beautiful Somalian girl? And oh my god, I'd be so jealous. They have the best
East African girls,
East African girls really, I'm like,
They rock.
no,
They
you guys are so beautiful. They are so
yes, and it's like they black, and it's
They
just
are
like,
black.
you know what I mean, like, but they take that away, and it's like there is no way that you can. And I won't say because I can't speak because I'm not another race, but I will. I feel like that's something that's very unique to the black community versus a different community. You know what I mean, like Asian, Latino. You know what I mean? I feel like that's something very unique. Like they take that away, like.
What do you
from
mean
us.
very unique? Like,
Meaning-
you must be mixed. That whole
Yeah, like I don't know if
yeah.
someone that's Latina, that's lighter skin, if there's like really that like you can't be Latina. It's just that you're
Yeah.
just fair, but it's like they take that away from black people so quick. Like whoop,
No,
like
you can't just be black and beautiful. No,
Yeah.
not at all.
how dare?
That's true. I've
How
never
dare you try to be black and beautiful? Actually. And
I was just thinking about what Ayana said, and like that's super true. I've never like even in like with Indian people or Spanish people or whatever. I've never.
Yeah,
Just learn
that's
something.
true.
I want to know. I mean, like I said, I'm only
us.
black.
Maybe tell
so,
us.
Yeah, tell us. I'm not saying that you don't experience that, but I that's something I'm like. I feel like that's very unique to black people. Like they just hella take it. Like
There's no way.
no way.
That you could create that within your own
No, how dare?
race.
How could you do that?
How dare you have variety?
How dare
How
you?
dare you?
Right.
And it's
I'm
crazy.
glad we have variety.
Right.
It makes things fun.
Yes.
Black
Sure,
girls
that's
rock,
true.
black men rock, like black people
Black
dope.
people.
Like you're dope.
Even if
Black
you
people.
pale skin to skillet black. Is that rude?
A little bit.
A little bit.
I mean, skillet it's a color. No, like skillet
not.
black, like
Skillet
really
is
dark
not
as
a
a
color.
skillet.
So just
Skillet
black.
is not.
I'm not calling the person skillet. I'm saying like
The
that
color.
color.
Yeah, I know what
said
you
skillet
mean.
black. Okay.
That's gonna
You
be
know
a
what?
crazy
I'm
color.
It's okay. Cool.
We get what you're saying.
I'm
All
sorry.
shades of black.
Yeah,
all
all shades of
beautiful.
black. It's true.
They are. And I had to catch myself the other day.
No, you're good. You're good.
I had to catch myself the other day because I posted something.
She said I just. It's
What are
okay,
you
girl. It's okay, girl.
As black as my shirt. Is that better?
She just keeps.
No, just don't. Just.
You know, like when you have like a shovel and you keep digging. Like what you're doing is like just chipping. You're still digging the hole. You're still doing the little chip.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I was just like really just
Yeah.
saying if you're
Yeah.
really dark
I know
or
what you
really
mean.
like.
Example.
Yeah.
You pulled a Kanye when Kanye was like, what did his little
Don't
thing
have
say?
anything like Kanye. He disappoints me
For
on
his
so
model
many
show,
levels.
he was like, he basically tried to say that he wanted all shades of black, but he was hella just like, what he said something crazy like mixed race, like, or he said something crazy and black people were like, "Bleh," and he's like, but 75,000 of y'all showed up. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, it was something like I don't want mixed race people or don't look mixed.
So,
Something
there was
like
some
that.
weirdness, and he's like, I was trying to say I wanted all shades of black, but it didn't really work out. I mean, it did because he did have all shades, and it's Kanye, so people showed up, but it was hella weird what he said.
Like,
But-
Michael Jackson.
Dark skinned friend look like Michael Jackson.
Ready for the world.
Really off, not off topic, but kind of off topic. Does anybody know if the producers of Straight Outta Compton were white?
Probably.
Was it? No, wasn't. What's his name? Ice Cube producer?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why?
But he was one of them.
Maybe there might have been white producers.
And then what's your follow up?
Well, because I was thinking about, does anybody remember when
casting.
they
The
had their
casting
casting
thing?
call and the call was like the A girls were light skin, mixed,
Oh,
and blah,
yeah.
blah. And then the B girls were like right in the middle, kind of educated, so you mean kind of blah blah. Black girls, bigger, not beautiful,
Right.
short
In the
hair,
background.
ratchet looking, more ghetto, uneducated. We were the C girl. Like, I was just sitting there thinking about
You're
last
not a
night.
C girl.
No, I'm not saying
He was
I'm
black.
a C girl,
Yeah.
but
He was black.
but
Straight out of.
he was. That's even worse. See, okay, we're gonna get into that.
But
next
no,
time.
that's why it needs to be talked. It's actually probably better that he was, because now it's real relevant.
Yeah.
Right. It's irrelevant. It is like how he could have. I think it's so frustrating because it's like he could have changed that whole dynamic by
Yeah.
not creating that particular casting list. And it's like sometimes with these kinds of topics, you tend to feel like a little helpless. Like, what do I do? Society's doing this to me. And
Yeah.
it's like, no, you have a choice to not retweet that light-skinned people meme or that dark-skinned people meme. You have a choice to not create that casting call for that.
Yeah.
You have a choice to do those things.
Right.
So do them.
Yeah.
I also think it has to do, I'm going to play devil's advocate. It has to do with the way that the industry is actually set up, where they were just trying to reflect that. This is me playing devil's advocate, where we know that more fair-skinned, more mixed-looking women are the main casted women in movies or music videos and stuff like that. So for the sake of this topic, music videos. So showing that gradual change, as when they first started out, it was, dark skin women. It was probably any kind of woman.
Yeah.
And then as they grew into the industry, becoming more popular and famous or whatever, they started to get those women that were what is considered, I guess, women. And that's just a reflection of what the industry is actually doing.
True. That's very
I
true.
will say that's true. I will say, though, that people in the industry have a lot more power to change. And I think, that's what I was going to bring up, Kendrick Lamar. He literally actually changed his leading lady in a music video from a light-skinned girl to this dark-skinned girl. And he was like, nope,
Yeah, but
you poppin'.
his wife is light skinned though. So really,
But they've been dating since like high school.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, it's not to say, like, he did
I
that and
know
he
that,
can
I'm
never
saying.
be with a light-skinned person, but I think it was more of a
It was
mentality,
intentional.
like, it's
Yeah,
intentional.
matches,
She
right.
can also be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She can
right.
also be. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. But it's like, and we can also be. I think that's what it was. And so to bring in that his girlfriend's light, I think is like an unfair.
I was just kidding, but no, what I'm saying is like for that movie,
Yeah.
that's probably what they were trying to reflect. I'm not saying that it's like that's what people should do.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
just
saying
saying that
that
for that
could be
movie, that's probably
why.
what the mentality was.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like they didn't have a choice type of thing.
Yeah.
They had the choice, but they were just really trying to reflect what is actually happening in the industry.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
I think we just have to be changers of those things, though.
Yes.
I'm all for it.
Solution finder.
But who really
Yeah.
wants to be a booty popping chick? Oh, I wouldn't mind.
Actually. But no, that's what I was starting to say, is that the other day I posted something and I had to catch myself. Because as a dark-skinned woman, not that I've ever had, I think I've been told once, like, you're pretty for a dark-skinned girl, and I was like, well, thank you. And I moved on. I didn't really internalize that. I haven't had any, like, oh my god, I'm dark. I've been pissed sometimes when, like I said, I can't get my makeup. Or, like, when Bare Minerals, they tried. When they first tried to get darker skin, I said they didn't know about the hues underneath, so we was looking ashy, but they figured it out.
They figured it out.
And I applaud them for that. But I never basically had this, like, internal thing, like, I'm dark skinned. Because in my family, there's every spectrum. Same thing with my aunt is lighter than you. And my grandma and grandpa are black. My grandpa's black as fuck. No.
And I know that's my daddy because we did the DNA test. So, yes.
But it's just, I grew up with that, you know what I mean? I grew up with,
So good.
I grew up with all these different, like, colors already, you know, within my family. So I never really internalized that, but I, like, posted something because I felt that I needed to stand up for black girls and be like, you're poppin', you're fly. And then I was like, but so are light-skinned girls. Like, and so are other brown-skinned girls. So I was like, I gotta do a double tweet.
I don't know. I kind of feel like I got into an argument with these other light-skinned chicks on Facebook. I was so
remember
pissed. That's fine to me because a
Yeah.
girl was upset because Zendaya and Amandla were being represented as for womanists, the face
Yeah.
of womanism or black feminism, and they're fair. There were no darker complexioned women who, you know, represented
Yeah.
that, and she was pissed. And so this other light-skinned chick is like, don't be getting mad at us because we're light-skinned, like that's your problem. I said, no. Like, you would be amiss to not acknowledge that there is a problem.
Yeah.
and this sounds a lot like white tears.
Yeah.
Like, cut it out. So, long Facebook argument. I said, you know, I can't do this. Call me. And we're on the phone, and I'm like, light skin is not better. You were taught that it's better. Silence. And it's like, there are actually light-skinned chicks who think that.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, this is a problem. And, I think I'm just attractive. That's why I get approached more. That's why I get approached more. Don't you see that is tied directly to Eurocentrism, to a Eurocentric standard of beauty? Do you not see that? Like, and you just got your JD? Like, I'm going to take that back. Like, like, this is a problem.
Yeah.
So,
like, give it back.
Yeah, it's like, be upset. You have, anybody who's upset about that, you have very good reason to be.
Yeah.
Just how black people have a reason to be upset about the way that we're treated versus white people.
Yeah.
It's very valid. I'm not mad. Just
no.
so you can leave it
I
alone.
think,
Okay.
no, but I think, like, when we come to...
Yeah, you could have left it.
Even though the intention's, like, I'm just trying to bring up, like, this marginalized group, it's still, like, that goes into the solution that once we can just say that, yes, you're popping and you're popping, I can recognize both. I just felt like it was my place to be like, I mean, I felt like I could just be, like, dark-skinned girls are popping because we hella are. But then I'm like, my light-skinned girls are popping too. So I was like, you popping as well. And like, once we start, but it's like, once people kind of start thinking about that, that's when the other stuff starts to die down. When I can say, you're popping, you're popping, you're popping, I'm hella popping. No,
I'm more popping.
I'm hella popping just because it's myself, not because I'm dark-skinned. You know what I mean? Like, and you popping. But I'm hella because it's my own. Then it's like, it starts to shift things and you start to say, all right.
Yeah.
We hella, like, melanin is popping.
Melanin
like,
is popping.
fuck. Melanin is popping as fuck.
Yes, it is.
Write that down.
Melanin is popping as fuck. And I think that's what it, sorry. You were going to go. I was just going to say, I think part of the solution is just educating yourself on the history behind colorism.
Yes.
And being, like you were saying, intentional about not reposting that thing that perpetuates colorism. And, speaking up. Silence is killing us. If you hear something, light skin versus dark skin, whatever, choose not to take part in the conversation. Choose to use your voice to make a difference.
Or be direct and be like, okay, there's a problem with this conversation.
Yeah. We have to create our own standard of beauty. And it has to start within our community. We can't, like, I'm not looking for anyone else that is not black to help us change this. It's really, at this point, y'all did enough.
Clearly we can go through many different conversations, a lot of solutions, a lot of issues, but we're going to go ahead and close this out right now. Go ahead and like this this conversation. Sorry, I'm just having a blank moment. Go ahead and like, subscribe, please. Go over Instagram, double tap. Like I always say, we love you guys. Love us back. Tell us how you're feeling, because we want to know.
We do want to know. And as always, stay hydrated, stay moisturized, but most importantly, stay black.
All shades.
All shades.
Hello, welcome to Black Girls Brunch. I'm Sylvia again.
Yeah.
Lucy Rashad.
Natalie.
Kendall.
And we wanted to talk to you guys about